අපගේ Lawasia සමරු පළක ප්‍රධාන උත්සවයක් වෙනුවෙන්
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to a very pleasant request, His Excellency to remain on stage to participate in that along with other dignitaries, and that is recognizing the contributions made by past presidents at Lawasia. We would like joining His Excellency on stage, once again the Honorable Prime Minister, the President of Lawasia, the President-elect of Lawasia, Chris Leong, the General Secretary, the Secretary General, Ms. Janet Neville, the Chairman of the Conference Organizing Committee, Mr. Upul Jayasuriya.
And thank you very much to our dignitaries. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, we will be presenting, on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee Conference, an appreciation of the services to this organization, a plaque in recognition of the past presidents of Lawasia. We have with us, ladies and gentlemen, the 11th President of Lawasia of 1991 to 1993, Mr. Anil Diwan of India. We'd also like to call up on stage Mr. Donald Yap of Hong Kong, who was the 13th President of Lawasia from 1995 to 1997. Mr. Takeo Kosugi of Japan, the 14th President of Lawasia, 1997 to 1999. Dr. Gordon Hughes of Australia, the 16th President of Lawasia, 2001 to 2003. Dato Mau Wen Kwai from Malaysia, the 19th President of Lawasia from 2006 to 2008. Mr. Glenn Ferguson of Australia, the 20th President of Lawasia from 2008 to 2009. Mr. Lester Huang from Hong Kong, the 21st President of Lawasia from 2009 to 2011. And Ms. Malathi Das from Singapore, the 22nd President of Lawasia from 2011 to 2013. And of course, Mr. Izomi Suzuki of Japan, the 23rd President of Lawasia 2013 to 2015.
If you would all remain on stage, we could also have a photograph, a photo moment, historic indeed. The 50-year run of Lawasia is certainly due by no small means to the effort of the leadership at Lawasia and the personalities we have and are honoring today have filled the shoes of leadership over the years. Our gratitude indeed for bringing this organization through these 50 years. As these mementos of appreciation are being handed over and they pose for the photograph, may I also move on for the sake of expediency in time, maybe move on with the next item and call on the President of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, Mr. Jeffrey Alagaratnam, President's Council, to make his way up here to make the next set of presentations, and this is from the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. The Secretary of the Bar Association also accompanying. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bar Association of Sri Lanka is very pleased to make a presentation at this juncture to His Excellency the President, Maithripala Sirisena, for his presence here with us and for the efforts made in upholding the rule of law. And of course, a presentation also to the Prime Minister, the Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe, from the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. It's a portrait with a difference, a portrait really formed out of naturally colored semi-precious stones in Sri Lanka, and the artist is up here, duly recognized also for his incredible talent.
Ladies and gentlemen, these portraits are made entirely of semi-precious stones, and whilst we presented the very first of those to His Excellency the President, we now present to the Honorable Prime Minister and also the President of Lawasia, Advocate Prashant Kumar.
To build society based on virtue, liberty, freedom, truth, and unity, for a nation strong and strong, standing strong, moving on, since the dawn, we'll fight for the right to take.
At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, we're very pleased to invite to address you the President of Lawasia, Advocate Prashant Kumar.
His Excellency, President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, and I must emphasize here the words Democratic Socialist Republic, because with your ascendancy in Sri Lanka, the whole world can see that these terms are not empty terms. They have acquired their real meaning and significance. Honorable Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Honorable Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, Honorable Chief Justices and senior judges representing around 14 jurisdictions of Asia Pacific, the President of Sri Lankan Bar Association of Sri Lanka, my colleagues from the Executive Committee, past presidents of Lawasia, whom we have just felicitated. As President of Lawasia, I am required to give my message to this august gathering here to attend the memorable Golden Jubilee Conference of Lawasia. And Friends, the biggest message which lies here is the profound significance that this Golden Jubilee Conference is taking place here in Colombo, in Sri Lanka. The reason being, as my good friend Upul Jayasuriya, who is co-chair of this conference, told you, that in 2013 also, Sri Lanka wanted to host a major Lawasia event. But at that time, the Lawasia was of the view that with the institutions relating to the rule of law in crisis, the Lawasia holding a conference or an event here may not be so appropriate. But the tide of time has turned, and has turned in such a significant and pleasant manner that today all of us from Lawasia are in fact feeling proud and privileged to be celebrating our Golden Jubilee here. Because by doing so, we celebrate together with our friends from Sri Lanka the spirit of the rule of law, the spirit of the independence of judiciary, and that quintessential feeling that binds the society, that there is a judiciary, there is an independent legal profession which will safeguard the rights of the people if they have any grievances against the state or fellow citizens. Friends, we are also very proud to share this with our colleagues from the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, that the recognition which the entire world and the Lawasia region has for the very vibrant and robust profession here. Because it is no exaggeration to say that the movement forward which has taken place in Sri Lanka recently, in a great measure, that is due to the remarkable public role as a civil society organization which has been played by the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. By creating public opinion, by standing by the rule of law, by standing for the independence of judiciary when it was imperiled. Friends, this lovely island nation had gone through a period, a sustained period of trial and turbulence. The force could bring an end to a civil war-like situation, but then it requires an entirely different regime, entirely different perspective, entirely different attitude for a country to feel a nation, for the country to feel as a part of larger humanity. And that's what has happened in Sri Lanka. It is the legal profession, with my friend Upul Jayasuriya leading the Bar Association at that time, and other members of the civil society in Sri Lanka, who, when they saw the assault on the independence of judiciary in this country, that is what united the people, that is what motivated them to break the shackles of affinities which are there on account of ethnic or other associations, and come together as a nation. And it is a salute and tribute to the ordinary people of Sri Lanka who came out and voted. And they voted for the rule of law and restoration of true democracy. And friends, that is the essential belief that makes us all to participate in Lawasia. We have had stalwarts of the legal profession from various countries who have headed this organization since 1966 during past 50 years. But along with that, it is the members of the profession who come to participate in the events organized by organizations as Lawasia, who have just one aspiration in their minds. Because Lawasia is not a typical business-oriented organization where lawyers meet to transact business, to increase their business. Lawasia is steeped in a culture, in the values which motivate in the first place for the men and women to take up the study of law and to join the legal profession, and then to join the organizations like Lawasia, because not only that, they want to carry on their professional duties diligently and faithfully. They want also to somehow, while discharging all these duties, to reach out, to do something more, to feel as a useful member of humanity, of the larger community. And that is what Lawasia provides, that experience. And it is the ordinary legal professions, it is those legal practitioners, it is those lawyers who come and participate in these functions that they learn that what are the challenges facing other societies, other professions, and they come together to support them. They come together in solidarity, and they come together to see to it that the world is a better place, administered through law in the true spirit of justice. And friends, 50 years of Lawasia, when it started, there was Vietnam War, there were other strifes going on. We can't say that the world is a much better place today. The challenges are there. They may be a little different, but they still are very profound challenges. And one of the most potent and potential ways to meet those challenges is that all those societies, all those countries, all those nations which are going through the times of convulsions, the times of challenges, internal strife, facing external aggression, ethnic conflict, conflict on the lines of religion, region, and other identifiers, that it is only the belief of the common man in the institutions which are vital to maintain the rule of law that sustains the peace and prosperity. We do talk about law being an instrument to increase trade and business, but there cannot be any trade or business without peace. Only a peaceful society can be a prosperous society. And to ensure that, the most vital and ingredient is that they should have a sense of justice. They should know that when the other institutions of the country, including the political institutions, legislature and all, because ultimately democracy is a game of numbers. It is the Constitution which is not an instrument to give power. Constitutions are instruments to limit power. And that limitation of power is specifically designed to ensure that no one group, by way of only majority of numbers, is able to dictate the way of life and how all are governed. And that is where the role of an independent judiciary comes in, and the role of an independent profession comes in. And that is where Lawasia has a proud legacy, working through its member bar associations to stand in solidarity, to criticize and pinpoint wherever there is a breach of essential principles that compromise these two very essential institutions related to the rule of law. And In Sri Lanka, when the 43rd Chief Justice was impeached and then put to trial, of the Lawasia being the regional organization, was able to not only make statements, write to then authorities in power, but also stand as an observer for the trial of the 43rd Chief Justice, so that the legal community and the institutions in Sri Lanka are conscious that the Asia-Pacific legal community is with them in those times of trial and turbulence. It was only Lawasia which was successful in sending an observer, because there were some visa restrictions which prevented other organizations to come and be on the ground here. Again, for me personally, to come here and see this nation in all its vibrancy today is, when we came in 2008 with our other colleagues, Mavenkwai, Malati Das, our past presidents, that we could see the skyline of Colombo being scanned by searchlights because there could be an air attack. We had armored vehicles armed with bazookas standing every 200, 400 meters in anticipation of a terrorist attack. Sri Lanka was a military state, and today, that's why I say, Your Excellency, the world has recognized that it is not just the nomenclature of Democratic Socialist Republic. Sri Lanka is well on its way to truly demonstrate to the world the spirit of democracy. And stands as a shining example to the world community that how the strife not only can be done away, how the wounds associated to it can be healed. And the initiative by the new government to carry on the process of reconciliation through a truth and reconciliation mechanism is a very remarkable exercise which will heal those wounds and make Sri Lanka an example to the other regions, not only of Asia Pacific, but throughout the world, that there can be bad times, there can be worse times, but ultimately, if people have spirit of justice, hope for justice in their heart, then everything can be corrected and brought to normalcy. So friends, Lawasia's journey of 50 years has been quite fulfilling, and my only wish is that all my colleagues, not only in executive committee, but all who join Lawasia as members, all who join as Lawasia as events as delegates, they have that quintessential quality, that spec, that inspiration to do something little more than their daily routine activity and professional duties, to become more useful to the societies they serve, to more useful to the other societies and countries, and stand for the freedom and independence of judiciary, for the freedom and independence of legal profession. And I only wish that from this Golden Jubilee onwards, the tribe of Lawasia grows. Thank you.